You've been chasing love in all the wrong places, in relationships that left you drained, in achievements that didn't fill the void, in validation that vanished the second you got it. Here's the truth no one wants to admit. You can't receive love, real love, until you've already given it to yourself. No one will ever love you more than you love yourself. That's the hard truth. Not your partner, not your parents, not your friends, not your followers, not as a cliche, not as a hashtag, but as a daily rebellion against the belief that you're not good enough. Because self-love isn't vanity, it's survival. And if that feels uncomfortable, it's because deep down, you've been outsourcing your self-worth. Facing the pain of lack of self-love, as a person wanting to be loved. You keep bending over backward for people who barely show up. You over-apologize when you're not even wrong or even taking up space. You replay conversations at night, dissecting every word, wondering if you were too much or not enough. You say, "I'm fine," when you're falling apart. You people-please when you're exhausted. You scroll through someone's life and wonder, why am I still stuck? And when you finally set a boundary, you feel guilty for it. You crave their validation like oxygen, because somewhere along the line, you learned that your value had to be earned. So, you stay in one-sided relationships. Say yes when everything inside you screams no. And shrink yourself, hoping someone will finally choose you. As if that would mean you finally matter. My dear, you're not broken. You're just operating on a system you didn't design. One that taught you. Be useful. Be likable. Be quiet. And maybe, just maybe, you'll be worthy. But here's what happens when you outsource your worth. Every compliment feels temporary. Every rejection feels like proof. And no matter how much you achieve, it never feels like enough. Because you're trying to fill a well with a cracked cup. And what's the crack? It's believing you don't deserve the water. But here's the brutal reality. Until you love yourself, you will always beg others to prove you're lovable. Debunking the myth that self-love is selfish. For ages, you've been fed a dangerous lie. Not about love, but about where it starts. You were told, you'll feel whole once someone sees your worth. You were told, love others first. Put them first. Sacrifice, serve. But what if that's backwards? Here is the bitter reality. No one can give you what you keep denying yourself. Even if someone loves you deeply, you won't believe it. Because your internal dialogue still whispers, you're not enough. According to a 2014 study in the Journal of Personality, people with low self-love often sabotage healthy relationships, simply because they can't accept being treated well. Also, Harvard psychologists found that people who rated high in self-compassion were 37% more likely to have healthy relationships, and less likely to stay in toxic ones. Why? Because you can't offer stable love from an empty foundation. Contrary to the general belief, self-love isn't selfish. It's structural, like checking the engine before a long drive. You wouldn't expect a car with a dead battery to make it up a mountain. So why expect your heart to give what it's never been given? Thus, loving yourself isn't optional, nor is it negotiable. It's foundational. Revealing the truth about loving yourself first. Learning to love yourself first isn't narcissism or selfish. It's returning home. It's survival. It's a strategy. It's spiritual hygiene. And here's why it changes everything. Here now are the 7 reasons to learn to love yourself first. But before getting into that, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and kindly subscribe to the channel. Alright, here are the reasons. Reason number 1. You teach people how to treat you. If you tolerate disrespect, people assume it's okay. If you overgive without boundaries, they'll keep taking. Self-love sets the standard. Not through words, but through what you allow and what you walk away from. Reason number 2. Without self-love, even compliments feel like lies. And have you ever heard, "You're amazing," and instantly thought, they don't really mean that? That's not humility. That's a wounded self-image. Research from the University of Texas shows that people with higher self-compassion have greater resilience to rejection because their self-worth isn't built on external approval or validation. Reason number 3. Self-love makes your no powerful. When you love yourself, you stop people-pleasing. You stop chasing closure from the people who broke you. You stop begging for crumbs because you know you deserve a seat at the table. Loving yourself makes your standards louder than your words. Reason number 4. Real love starts with emotional self-safety. If you don't feel safe with yourself, your thoughts, your mistakes, your needs, you'll be a stranger in your own life. Self-love isn't just self-care, it's self-trust. It's knowing you won't abandon yourself the moment things get hard. Reason number 5. You attract what you believe you're worthy of. This doesn't happen in some magical universe conspires kind of way, but in the way you speak, the way you walk, your carriage, the way you ask for what you need, or settle for what you don't. Psychologist Nathaniel Branden put it best. The level of our self-esteem sets the boundaries of our life. Reason number 6. You become hard to manipulate when your worth isn't tied to being needed. You stop staying in relationships out of guilt. You stop accepting crumbs because you're lucky to have them. Another study, but this time from the University of Texas, found that self-validated individuals were less likely to tolerate emotional abuse, not because they became cold, but because they felt their value too clearly to ignore disrespect. Self-love isn't armor, it's awareness. And awareness is the death of manipulation. Reason number 7. Your standards rise without effort. As a person, you don't decide to stop dating emotionally unavailable people. You just stop being attracted to them. Like your soul develops a taste. Neuroscience calls this limbic resonance. Your nervous system learns what safety feels like and starts rejecting what doesn't match. You don't force boundaries. You embody them. And suddenly, you're not begging for respect. You're quietly unimpressed by its absence. Practical framework for loving yourself first. So, how do you start without it feeling like another chore? Try these 4 daily anchors. Anchor 1. Use mirror talk. Without filters. Every morning, look yourself in the eyes and say, I'm learning to love you. You're worth it. I'm on your side. Not I love you. That might feel fake at first. But I'm on your side? That's a promise. And it rewires your brain to see yourself as an ally, not an enemy. Anchor 2. Try the guilt test. Before saying yes to anyone, ask, am I doing this out of love or fear of being seen as selfish? If it's fear, pause. Your time, energy, and attention are sacred. Protect them like you would a child's. Anchor 3. The inner witness. At night, reflect, when did I feel most like myself today? Not most productive, not most liked. Most likely you. That's your compass. Follow it. Anchor 4. Practice sacred no's. Every time you feel guilt creeping in, ask, am I betraying myself just to be liked? Then say no, and let that be the self-love. Anchor 5. Rewrite your internal script. Every time your mind says, you're not enough, answer back, I don't need to be perfect. I just need to be kind to myself. If you've watched this video to this stage, why not consider subscribing to the channel for more educational content meant to make you live a healthy, happy, fulfilled, and satisfactory life in a world where many struggle to find a rhythm for their lives? Okay, now here's what they never tell you about self-love. They never told you that loving yourself isn't a destination. It's not bubble baths and mantras. It's the decision to stop abandoning yourself again and again. It's the decision to stop living to please people, including those who hate you. And the mistake you keep making, just to please them, you keep seeking approval, buying products you don't even need to look good, and staying small. You've got to stop treating yourself like a problem to be fixed, and start treating you like a person to be cherished. And from that moment, you don't forcefully attract love. You recognize it when it comes naturally, in others, in moments, in the quiet certainty that no matter what happens, you will always have a home, inside yourself. That's not arrogance, that's healing. And it's the bravest thing you'll ever do. Because one day, someone will come into your life and love you deeply. And when that happens, you don't want to question it. You want to recognize and accept it. Because it'll feel familiar. Not because it completes you, but because you already chose to complete yourself. When you love yourself first, you stop needing proof that you're lovable. And that right there is your power. Thanks for watching. Coming next is reasons you often get tired of sex when married. You don't want to miss out on it. Turn on the notification bell so YouTube informs you when it's out.